Assignment 3, lesson planning. Now we're starting to get into the sort of nuts and bolts of planning for an ELA lesson. So the rationale is lesson planning is a reality for a teacher. The more practice planning, the better we will become at unifying our outcomes, learning opportunities, differentiation, transitions, and closures. When we analyze, create, and implement, this allows us the opportunity to reflect upon all aspects, including the strengths and weaknesses of our own planning. The reflection portion is often overlooked in the busyness of the teaching day, but is crucial in our growth as educators. So basically, the assignment is you will create, you will teach, and you will reflect upon one ELA lesson. So let's have a look at the specifics. So you will create one 30-minute ELA lesson plan focusing on teaching phonics or phonological awareness and our vocab, depending on which grade you're in, through one of the following themes and thematic books. So I want you to focus the lesson on a book. So say you are going to focus it on the Giving Tree. You would teach phonics, phonological awareness, and or vocab through the Giving Tree. So I want you to focus your lesson on a great book. And suitable books for K-6 students on these topics are available through the MHC library. They have done an amazing job of pulling titles that are at the MHC library in the children's literature section. So you don't have to go anywhere else, you just have to tootle on down to the library. Okay, check out all the titles at these lip guides. Use only one book in your lesson. So don't try to bring in multiple books, just focus on one. One book, just an FYI, takes about 5 to 8 minutes to read. So if you're going to read the whole book, it's going to take up a little bit of time, but that's okay. Okay, but know that it's not going to just take 2 minutes. Books take like 5 to 8 minutes. Okay, then you're going to create the lesson plan to teach to one colleague. You're just working one-on-one with one colleague in 30 minutes. You must fill that time. You must fill 30 minutes, but you don't have more than 30 minutes because that's the reality of teaching, right? Use the MHC Education Lesson Plan template, which I'll show you, and fill in all required parts of the lesson plan. Focus your lesson on your practicum grade. Okay, this is always the trick when you teach your colleagues. So I think this explanation will help you. You will teach your lesson plan to one colleague. Even though the lesson is based on your practicum grade, teach at the pace of your colleague. Okay, so if you're going through and you're like, what's the title? And they say the Giving Tree, that's right. You don't have to be going, what is this word? What is it this way? Teach at the pace of your colleague. You will teach your partner your lesson, and then you'll be the student for your partner. Be sure to bring all needed supplies and book for lesson on the day you teach your lesson. That's the reality of being a teacher. No one else is going to bring your supplies. Create a lesson plan that incorporates pedagogical concepts from our education class. So I'm going to be going through how do you actually teach phonics and phonemic awareness, and how do you actually teach vocab. So I want to see some of those things that you're taking, or from your practicum. I want to see you trying some of those. Teach the lesson. Do not explain it to your colleague. So I want you to actually be like, okay, we're going to read this book, and now we're going to, what are some of the vocab that you don't know? And I want you to actually teach the lesson, not explain it. So if I walk around and hear you saying, well, if I was in front of my grade 4 class, I would. You want to teach it as if you are teaching the grade 4 class, but you're teaching one colleague. Okay. You should plan for 3 to 4 learning opportunities, as your colleague will be able to move through them quickly. So if you plan only one learning opportunity and it takes only 4 minutes, you've got 26 minutes to fill, which is not a comfortable situation, right? And I'm going to hold you to that 30 minutes because, again, you want to get a sense of the pacing. How long do things take? Okay, and be able to do all activities with just one person. So do not plan 3 rounds of Think, Pair, Share, as you'll only be working with one person, and then it kind of is lame. So plan all your activities that one person, or you and your partner and your student, can do together. Okay. Reflect. After you teach a lesson, fill in the reflection and revision portion of the lesson plan. Use such criteria as, what would I keep? If I taught it again, what would I change? Did the lesson meet my outcomes? What have I learned about myself as a teacher? Okay, so those are kind of the questions that I want you to answer. Please submit the lesson plan and reflection together. So just put your reflection right on your lesson plan and submit that through Blackboard before midnight on the due date. It is due at midnight on the same day that you teach, but the reflection really should take you about 15 minutes. You'll know what went well and what didn't go well. And you can just write it as, this took way shorter time than I thought. Next time I would blah, blah, blah. And so I don't think that's going to be a big issue. The lesson plan creation is 80% of your grade and your reflection is 20% for a total of 120% of your final grade. Awesome. Take care.